the top 10 stupid things that I've been seeing agencies do in year one, specifically in year one of starting their new agency, right? Okay. Okay. So it's pretty cold. A lot of the ice has melted, but you can see with these big chunks, they're gonna stay put. Let me just get my breath just for a second. Once you get your breath going, you start to be good, right? And so here we go, guys. So top 10 things. Let's see if I can even remember them. I got a whiteboard behind. Number one, when you're selling, all right. Like I said, this is a test. We may never do another one of these series again. Doesn't matter how many likes we get. All right, here we go, guys. So number one, setting and agreeing on the right expectations. You see, guys, when you're selling something, you have to be able to set the right expectations for your clients. Okay, so like, let me give you an example. You know, I got a roofer, and I tell this roofer, hey, roofer, man, I think I can get you $30 cost per lead. $30 cost per lead for roofing. That roofer comes back and is like, you know what, that's great. That's great for month one, but in month 2 and 3, man, I really want to see that get down to 10. See, a lot of young agency owners, they'll just right there, they just close the sale. You gotta stop. You gotta think, holy fuck, this is gold. You have to slow down, guys. You gotta slow down and make sure that whatever you can do is gonna work for this agency in the long term. Guys, number 2, debt. Young entrepreneurs have to stay out of debt. You see, as I'm growing my companies, each and every one of them, number 1, I don't do debt. Number 2, I'm focused on what I call a get small budget. Guys, in a get small budget, basically what you're doing is saying, you know, worst comes to worst. I start losing clients. What is the smallest budget I can get to, right? So if you've got a debt, if you got $1,000 a month payment or $500 a month payment on whatever the case may be, guys, you can't go down lower than that. Make sure that you stay out of debt so that if you have to get small, you can, right? Get small budget. Number 3, have a budget, right? This ties right in. Guys, oh my gosh. So I do investing in agencies. I love taking them over. It's something we've just started over the last couple of quarters. And you would not believe how many agencies I get to. And I'm like, okay, cool, guys. What is your budget? What are you planning on doing? What are your expenses this month? And it's not documented. In fact, half of these guys don't even have it on QuickBooks. What the freaking junk, guys? QuickBooks is like $25 a month. You would think this, like right now, guys, just so you know, my arms are starting to get numb. I can't feel my arms. My fingertips, I'm squeezing them. It's getting tough to squeeze them. I don't know if you can get the camera in here, but like it gets harder to open your fingers, and a lot of this ice is disappearing, but it gets harder to close your fingers. Guys, number 4, this is some big misconception, and it sucks. I hate hearing it. But there's a saying out there in the world that says you got to work smarter, not harder. But guys, that's not an excuse to be freaking lazy. That's not an excuse to be lazy. Let me give you an example. I got Samantha. Samantha, she's not as good as the rest. Samantha works 10 hours a day and she produces $200 in sales. And then I have Matt. Matt's really good. In fact, in 2 hours, Matt can produce $200 in sales. And some of you guys are like, dude, that's a killer. Freaking Matt should go home after 2 hours. What I see is Matt's lazy as junk if he does that. Because what I see is if Matt actually worked a full shift, he should be able to close what? $900, $1,000, $1,200 a month. You know, it's just a matter of time before I get Samantha where she's producing just as much as him. Guys, when you're starting your business, don't worry, I can't even talk. Don't worry so much about finance. Don't worry so much about trying to get techie and trying to live on the beach and work no hours that you forget to work your freaking butt off. Guys, when you've got 100 clients, when you got 50 clients, when you're making 7 figures, then you can start cutting down the hours, but work your butt off. Guys, number 5, trying to do it all. And I'm going to speed the junk up because I don't know if I can last much longer in here. Number 5, trying to do it all. Outsource. Outsource some of this stuff. You have to. You know, we run one of our companies is a fulfillment company where we do fulfillment for agencies across the U.S. There's no way a 1 or 2 person agency can do as good of a quality of job as my team can. There's just no way. My team has advisors and consultants, an education department. When they can't figure things out, they go talk to people. They get other ideas. They start brainstorming. They bounce ideas off each other. There's no way you can possibly compete with that. Number 6, guys. So it's a little saying that I coined, the closer's patience. Guys, when you're doing digital marketing and you're selling multiple services, know the patience level of your clients. You see, every type of lead has a certain level of close rate. If I get referrals, I can close them at 50%. If I get, someone that came to my site that's on maybe one of my followings somewhere, I can close them at 30%, PPC 25, SEO 20, and so on and so forth. We all know Facebook leads of all of those are the least quality. Now, it might bring a serious ROI, but if your clients don't have the systems or the sales patience to follow up, to actually hone into those sales, they're never going to be effective. Guys, another one on finance. When you're first getting started, guys, don't sign long-term contracts. Don't buy into it. Salesforce is a huge platform for us, and they pretty much require long-term contracts, but we don't do it. I would rather pay a little bit extra to have a month-to-month agreement. Why? Because if crap hits the fan, I want to be able to get small. Simon Sinek wrote a book, Infinite Game versus the Finite Game. Guys, we're playing a long-term game. One of the number one things about business is staying in business. You want to be able to get small if you have to, guys. Month-to-month contracts. Got 3 more for you. Outsourcing without knowing how to either you have expertise in it and you know exactly how to do it, or outsourcing without having proper systems in place. I was talking to one of my clients the other day, and he was outsourcing telemarketing. This guy sucked at sales. He didn't know anything about sales. He didn't know how to measure salespeople. He didn't know how to pay salespeople. And he had been through over 100, I kid you not, 100 VAs trying to convince them how to sell. He didn't know how to measure it. He didn't know how to grade it. So there's 2 things here with outsourcing. Either one, you have to outsource to an expert. So either that's a white label company that you know and feel confident they know exactly what they're doing, whether that's hiring in an expert that you know they know exactly what they're doing, or you have to be the expert. You have to be the expert so that you can teach, coach, and systemize, manage, grade, and audit the performance of someone else. Guys, there has to be an expert in the formula when it comes to outsourcing or hiring. Number 9, guys, underestimating the difficulty. If you talk to me a lot, I have a full-time coach here at Height, leadership development coach, and the first thing we do with every single team member is we make commitments. What are you committed to? A true commitment helps you get through pain. A true commitment, if you really focus on it, you can do anything. Let me give you an example. If I asked most of you guys, would you go work at McDonald's for the next 6 months? Most of you would say no. McDonald's isn't good enough for me. I'm way too good for that show. But if I flipped it around and said, if your daughter was hungry and you didn't have a job, would you go work at McDonald's? Most of you guys would say absolutely. You see, the commitment to your kids is one of the highest commitments of all. My commitment is to becoming a leader worthy of leading 1,000 people. So when I jump into this ice bath and I start thinking about the pain, like right now my toes are numb, my fingers are numb, I can barely move. When I start thinking about the pain, the question is the pain going to be the loudest voice in my head, or is my commitment going to be the loudest voice in my head? When you have a great commitment, guys, you can overcome anything, because building an agency sucks. It's hard sometimes. When clients leave, when you get a bad review, trying to please everyone, trying to overachieve, guys, it is hard. It is so hard, guys. And I'm here to tell you, if you don't have the strength, if you don't have a commitment to get past it, you'll quit. And it's just going to be a waste of time and a waste of money, and you're going to walk away only with the experience. Guys, don't underestimate the difficulty. And my last tip, I've been seeing this so much over the last year, and I hate it. It breaks my heart, is charging way too much. Guys, if I go to Reach, Local, Scorpion, Height, any of these big players out there, and I go hire them to do Facebook ads, you're looking at $400, $500, $600 a month. Now, I realize as a boutique agency, you believe, and every coach in the world has told you, you should be able to charge $1,500, and you should be able to, but that comes with time. If it's your first client, make sure that price is priced at a point where you can make money and you can keep them. It's also so much easier to get an ROI on a lower price product. In your first several clients, make sure you charge a price that's fair. You should be making money, but charge a price where your focus is more the experience than anything else. Guys, again, if you like this episode, if you want to see me get into ice again and hopefully have a much shorter episode, and I'm going to start to get out of this, be sure to like this video. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a comment. Let's make it happen. And I promise you guys, I'll be coming out with some more content. Now I'm going to try to get out of here. And you're going to see me suffer a little bit. Because when you get out and you start moving your body parts, mother trucker, it starts hurting a lot. Oh, fuck. Oh. Whoa. Woo. Son. All right, guys. Hope you have an awesome freaking week.